Hi Chapel Hill, it's Betsy Beach again. It's Wednesday afternoon and I had been trying to spend as much time outside as possible until the rain kind of pushed me indoors. It's really hard to believe that in the next few months here we are going to be stepping into something new, a new season, right? Where we're going to need snow boots and snow shovels. I really hardly feel ready for it. But thinking about stepping into something new actually has made me think a little bit about the Old Testament this week. And it's reminded me of a phrase that the Lord uses with the Israelites when they are about to step into a new circumstance or a new situation. When the Israelites need a little bit of extra motivation, the Lord gives them this phrase. He says, "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt." When the Israelites need a little extra encouragement, the Lord asks them to look back, to remember who He is. And in that process of remembering, the Israelites then have a better footing and a better grounding to be able to step into something new. They remember that the Lord is their provider, that the Lord is their redeemer, that He's mighty in power. And all of those pieces about who God is equip them to move forward into something new. And you know, the Israelites aren't the only ones who need this lesson, are they? We as believers in Jesus, when we're called to step into a new situation, as we are, as being influencers for Christ, we're called to step in to going out and making disciples. Well, we also need that regrounding and that footing to be able to do that well. When I was preaching on Sunday, I talked a little bit about how our past experiences with God, how they equip us for this role of influencer, how the lessons we've learned in our wilderness situations, well, they've trained us up to be influencers for Jesus. And I went on to just say that maybe it would be a good practice if we could sit down and write all of the ways that the Lord has shown Himself to us in our past, right? If we looked at all of our wilderness lessons and sat down and wrote our influencer resumes, all of the ways the Lord has proved Himself over and over to us, and then we could take those things and bring them forward to others. So I'm just checking in, church. How has that been going? Have you been finding time to sit down to write those influencer resumes? Have you taken the time to look back and reflect on who God has been to you in your past, how He has equipped you in knowledge of who He is? If you haven't had the time to do that yet, I would just encourage you to find some time in the remainder of the week to do so. When we look back and focus on who God is, an amazing thing happens with our hearts and with our minds. They get realigned, they get recentered, they get refocused, and we get this good sense of grounding that gives us the confidence, that gives us the assurance we need when we're stepping out in faith into something new. Over the past few weeks, Paul has been encouraging us on these Wednesday afternoons to gather together around a specific prayer focus, a focus for our church and a focus for ourselves individually. And I would really love to do the same for you today. Can we, as members of Chapel Hill Church, focus this week on asking the Lord for obedience of heart? You know, we have learned that we have now been equipped and trained up for the role of an influencer, but we need the Lord to help us be obedient in going out now, in taking what we've learned and putting action behind it. So can we as a church body pray that the Lord will strengthen our obedience, that we will be obedient in giving up our own desires, our own will, and that we would instead look to align with the work that He is already doing and get ourselves underneath that and take a step forward in actually finding those people who need to learn the exact same lessons that we ourselves have learned. Let's be a church that prays for obedient hearts together. This next Sunday, Pastor Paul is going to be continuing our Influencer Sermon Series, and he's going to be moving into teaching us about what this message is that we're supposed to be bringing with us to share with others. And you really won't want to miss it. So if you can join us here in person at 10 o'clock on Sunday, that would be wonderful. Or you can join us online as well. We would really love to have you, and I know that you're not going to want to miss what Paul has for us. So we look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, just know that I will be praying for you, if you will be praying for me, that we can have obedient hearts towards Christ.